Mighty 1630 KCJJ. Jim Hunter and Tommy Lang with you, and we are joined as we are every first Monday of the month, mostly, by Sheriff Brad Kunkel from Johnson County. Good morning, Sheriff.
Speaking of fish to fry.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's fish fry season.
Yeah, you were at Solon.
I'm very excited.
You were at Solon Friday.
It was good.
I'm going this Friday. No, not this Friday. Next Friday. Got that fundraiser for Summer of the Arts on this Friday. So
oh, that's right. Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
Go see the Beaker Brothers, and then next Friday I'll go. I was at the first one the week before you got there, so it's excellent. Oh, very much looking forward to that.
Boss walked in.
Yeah,
snap to attention.
I was going to say anything.
Yeah. So how's everything?
Things are good. Things are good. I see you guys have snow here, but at my house, nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. There was like just a line, evidently, where, you guys got snow cover down here. Nothing in my
Usually
house.
It's the opposite. North, you got more snow. So...
yeah.
I guess we got lucky, quote unquote, lucky yesterday. Yeah, it was crazy driving out of here yesterday.
Oh, really?
It was flying. Or no, I take it back. It was when I was going to visit my mom last night.
Yeah.
It was like driving through a snowstorm because it was a legitimate snowstorm that I was not expecting.
Yeah, and I got up this morning. There was a little dusting on the car. Most of the stuff had just on the grass. I mean, the stuff on the sidewalk was gone. But, yeah, there's definitely a definite snow cover here.
Didn't have a lot of accidents or anything like that reported, like on the interstate. Sometimes we'll have that.
Yeah.
Well, and what's funny is I was talking to my son on the phone last night. I don't know. It was still light out, maybe 6, 7 o'clock, somewhere in there. And he was at the time, while we were FaceTiming, he showed me, he said, like, look, you guys get snow at your house? He's like, it's snow at our place. And I look out the window, nothing. So, yeah, evidently it didn't change.
Well, it is supposed to warm up this week.
Yeah.
That usually means more people out doing stuff.
Yeah, causing shenanigans.
I'm trying to tie it into the whole thing here.
I think, I think maybe we're seeing some of that already. There was a morning, was it Thursday night into Friday last week? I think we had like 19 for court. So,
oh, wow.
I mean, that's a lot.
That is
during the week.
I think we have like 120 pages on the arrest thing that we get offline, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and in the last few weeks, the jail population is ticking back up. We're seeing a lot of populations of over 100 now, like during, even after court and stuff like that, where we're got over 100 in total custody. So our, we're back up over 30 out of county. And
is the construction affecting like how many people you can fit into the jail, or is that just kind of an aesthetic thing? Okay.
So, as maybe it was covered a little bit last week. If you drive by the jail, you'll see a bunch of concrete barricades out front.
Yes.
It's nothing bad. That's going to be a staging area for this repair project we have starting up here in the next few weeks. So,
and what does that entail?
So it entails the recommendation from a report we had done about maybe 2 or 3 years ago now, where we had to have an engineer come in and give us an assessment on the structural integrity of the building. Mm-hmm. And their finding was the brick facade, so the entire brick shell of the building, is the primary structural deficiency. And
that ain't good.
It is not. And that's their wording. And that they said that's what needs repaired, kind of the immediate repair before it, and they use the words cascades into other problems. And so that will have to be all removed, as well as the roof, because the roof is 20 years old, and so is the HVAC, to keep the building livable for as long as we still need to be in it. It's about I think the bid was about $3.3 million for the entire project, and the reason we're doing it is because, well, there's about 3 reasons. One, we had an engineer tell us this is the primary structural deficiency, and these things could cascade into other problems. So it's a safety concern with the exterior. 2, if we get a referendum passed this November, we are still going to be in that building until a new facility opens. So you're probably 3 years from referendum to opening the door and moving in. So we will still be there. And if the referendum fails, then we are still there for an indeterminate amount of time. So no matter what, we have to spend this money and do this work. The staging area out front that you see is going to be for like materials, equipment. It basically goes out and takes up even part of the southbound lane to Capitol
Yeah, I think
Street.
like they've warned you, like there's going to be a narrower lane there.
Yep.
Like there's just one lane, right?
It'll still be 2 lanes unless that changes for some reason. We've been in touch with the city of Iowa City about some better signage and just make sure people are aware of the kind of the narrow streets and the construction ahead. The sidewalk in front of the building is effectively closed as a thoroughfare.
Yeah.
Public access to the sheriff's office will still be from the north side of the sidewalk. And then the parking on the east side of the street, kind of the north half of the block, the city has made that now temporary, this law enforcement parking only, because we still need a place for arresting officers to park while they're waiting to get into the jail. So just as you're traversing Capitol Street, pay attention, slow down, or go around. Unless you've got business to come to do at the sheriff's office.
I was going to say, it's not a street you use very often unless you're going to or from the jail usually. I mean, there's a couple of streets that are about the same
but it does have that intersection at Benton. And so we get a lot of traffic coming up from Benton Street to get up. Because otherwise your other option is
I see what you're talking
over
about.
to Riverside Drive
and then
or
double back.
Or like around the admin building to Dubuque Street.
Right.
So, yeah, we do get a lot of traffic coming up from that intersection of Benton and Capitol. And then it's just our normal business too. And then at some point, as that project works its way around the building, it's going to affect our parking. Parking is already a precious commodity for my staff. Well, at some point, we're going to have to find a new home to park staff vehicles and everything else for bits of the project too. So and then how to start your question about capacity. So the roof removal will then mean that at some points of the process, we'll probably have half of the jail population moved out into other counties.
Oh, boy.
Oof.
So, that'll probably be another, 30, maybe 40 inmates that we're now taking from here and moving out. So if we have 30 out now, we're probably going to see times where we have maybe 70 or so housed out of county to the tune of $60 to $65 per bed per day. So that'll affect our capacity in the building. What we're doing right now is also we have to take one of our current housing units that's for general population, and then that will now become kind of an overnight transitional housing unit just for people coming and going from court. So we're going to have to make court runs every day to these other facilities, because if we know, okay, Hunter and Langenberg have court tomorrow, but Hunter's in Cedar County and Langenberg's in Muscatine, or not Muscatine, like Henry County, then okay, we got to go get you, and we got to go get you. We got to have you back by a certain time so you have court tomorrow, and we might have to do that for 10 people. Who knows? So the logistics are very, very complicated.
Why did you change it from Muscatine there? Because I thought you used to have an agreement with them specifically.
We did.
Did that
was back
okay.
when Sheriff Polkravic was in office. They kept him in Muscatine, but over the years, we've been in Benton, Marshall, Clinton, Lee.
Is that just different rates for different counties, or different? How does that work?
Some of it's rates, some of it is just proximity.
Okay.
So when I came into office, we were still housing people in Lee County, which is down by Fort Madison, Montrose.
Oh wow.
Clinton County, and then some of our closer ones. We weren't keeping anybody in Lynn. Maybe a couple, not very many. We kept some in Washington. We kept some in Henry. So I came into office, and at some point we started looking at this. Worked it out with Lynn County, where we entered into a contract with them so they would house more, and then I pulled them out of Lee and Clinton, mainly because that's just a long ways to drive. If I can keep them closer. So I was looking at the transport costs and the time we're spending on the road. So now we keep most of them in Lynn. We keep a handful in Washington, Henry, and Cedar are kind of our main ones now. But what we run into is, we compete with other jails, mainly Polk County, for beds, because Polk County doesn't have enough beds, so they house all across the state. And we could very easily find ourselves in times where we'll call down to like Henry County and say, hey, you got room for 6 more? And they'll say, nah, Polk County brought us 15 yesterday. And so now we've got to find those other beds in other places.
So jail capacity is not just isolated to Johnson County as a problem. It's, around the state.
That's correct. It's a statewide problem. A lot of jails are in the same, kind of built in the same era that ours were, about 40 to 50 years ago. And, a lot of Iowa has seen population growth, and, the justice system changes, and there's a lot of jails that are facing those capacity problems too.
And as a percentage of the population, the jail population isn't like spiking up. It's not like you're arresting a lot more people. It's, with the growth in population, obviously going to have a growth in arrests.
That's correct. There's a relationship between population growth, and with it comes, criminal behavior. Just you have more people, it's more likelihood of stuff happening. And then also with the growth of people comes just the growth of movement you see with people, traffic and travel and all the other things that have, look at Johnson County as a destination. You draw more people in that come here for sporting events and concerts and all those things. And sometimes while they're here, those individuals commit crimes too. So it's not just population. It's also when your population swells because of an event or as a destination. So you have to have the infrastructure in place to support those. You have to have roads and water and streets, and you have to have a justice system that is built to support the capacity of the community too.
Yeah, and when I first moved here, I was like, why are they building all these hotels? And obviously there's a reason for it.
That's right.
The Johnson County is a destination. You got football, you've got all these sports, especially down now in
graduation weekend coming up here in a few weeks.
With Extreme Arena.
Trust me, we've had stories on the police reports where people like mom and dad decide to go out for a few beverages with the kids, and things get a little out of control.
Yeah. And with Extreme Arena now, up and running for 5-6 years now.
Yeah.
A lot of events happening there. A lot of sporting events on the weekends.
And you need restaurants, and
absolutely.
And restaurants need employees, and so it all ripples out. It's just look at the housing needs that are here. I can't believe the amount of people I run into and talk to that are retiring here, because their kids live here, and so they've retired from out of state, and then they're moving here to be with their families, and you need housing for retired folks. More what they call it, zero grade or level entry. Like ADA accessible homes and that kind of thing. So all those things are part of growth.
Yeah, and if you've drive up around North Liberty and Tiffin and stuff like that, there's stuff being built all the time.
Oh, it's nonstop.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Is this the first time a jail bond has been on a ballot under the new Iowa law where it has to be with the other election? It could be its own election before, right? You could have
it used to be you could do special elections. Now it has to be on the November.
Do you think that would help or hurt its passage more? Having people who might not normally vote for something like that see it on their ballot and just check off something.
I think this is going to be beneficial. You have higher turnout, so you have higher participation, but it also gives us a chance to, we have to work harder to get information in front of people, help make an informed decision, and answer the questions, and not, special elections. Sometimes it comes up pretty quick. Here we've been talking about this for so long. I think a lot of folks are thinking like, why can't we get this done tomorrow? Let's just get this done. This is important. I want to see us solve this problem and move past it. So I think this November will actually be a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of tend to agree with you. Mm-hmm. I think that this midterms is going to be a well attended vote if possible.
For national reasons and local reasons.
Yeah, for whatever reason, there's people that are interested in voting this year that haven't been for a while.
Totally agree.
And you just celebrated 25 years with the Johnson County Sheriff's Department.
Yeah, how about that?
Congratulations.
Time flies when you're when you do something you enjoy.
Well, that's good. That's good that you said that.
No, I mean it. I mean, I'm blessed to have the opportunities that I've had.
I saw the photos on the website, on the Facebook page. You just look like a child. It's like, oh, look, he's like a Boy Scout joining or something.
Well, he's youthful even now.
That's true.
He doesn't. You don't reflect your age. Let's put it that way.
Doesn't act like it either.
That's right. No, it's hard to believe it's been 25 Christmases and all those things. I mean, but what was interesting, the day of my anniversary, there was I'd say a more important one there is Deputy George Werner hit 36 years.
My goodness.
And so that was special because on our long sleeves, you see we have these yellow stripes on here.
Yeah.
So each one denotes or means 4 years of service.
Okay.
And so that morning, early that afternoon, went over to George and gave him I gave him a sleeve of 9. And not many people hit that benchmark. But 36 years of public service.
Isn't there a mandatory retirement age in the sheriff's department?
So Iowa Code has a mandatory retirement for peace officers. It says they can't work past age 65. So meaning you have to retire on or before your 66th birthday.
Okay.
Yep. And there's I think
So
legislation.
I'm out. I turned 66 yesterday. So
There's legislation proposed, I think, this year to extend that by a couple years. You see that come up from time to time. But yeah, 36 years is that's a hell of a career.
There's been some folks around here that I think it was Cedar Rapids, the police chief or Lynn County Sheriff had a mandatory retirement.
That was the police chief. It's different for sheriff since we're elected,
right? Sure.
But like I know the Lynn County Sheriff. I don't know how old he is offhand, but I think he's had 42 total years with the Lynn County Sheriff's Office. So,
so he's coming up.
Yeah, you see. But he could still, he could run and be the sheriff till he's 80 if you keep. I mean, again, it's elected office. There's not a cap on the elected side of it.
Okay.
So, and I've over my career I've run into. I know of one sheriff in particular. It seems like he's got enough. Those stripes on his arm looks like a gauntlet. It's go to his elbow.
Why is it 4 years? Why is that the increment? Do you know offhand? Or
I don't know the history behind that.
That seemed like an odd number to throw on there.
It is, but usually you think 5.
Yeah, 5 or 10 or
like
something.
that.
Yeah,
But 4 is good. 4 works for you.
Yeah, 4 works. The first one is always kind of the funny one because I remember somebody made a comment early in my career. I had that one stripe, and they said well, it looked like you wiped your nose on your sleeve. so yeah, it's important to get the second one.
Yeah, so you're 3 years away from your next stripe.
Yeah,
You'll be 28.
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy birthday, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Happy birthday.
It was a good day.
Good deal.
And here we are, starting off another month, and it's the first day of second day of meteorological spring. You wouldn't know if they're looking outside. But
this is probably more of an emergency management question, but I believe we start getting into like the severe weather weeks, where like this, today, the severe weather week is coming up. Right?
You should have Dave come on sometime and talk about those.
And then
things.
the weather spotter classes. I know that you guys are out there looking for like during severe weather, looking for funnel clouds and stuff.
Yep, we're out there. The fire departments get out there. But the big thing we're seeing right now is it's grass fire season.
Yeah, it really
sure
is.
They had for a lot of these guys, probably a once in a lifetime fire event out on IWV a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
They did an amazing job. Everybody involved did an amazing job of communicating, of protecting the fact that we didn't lose a house is pretty incredible. In fact, you get a chance, drive out there and just look at how much earth that fire covered.
It's several hundred acres, right?
It was, it's a couple miles long and on both sides of the road.
Wow.
It's definitely worth looking at. But, this is the time of year when people start to do controlled burns to kind of get ready. But the downside is when that snow melts, we've had a couple dry days, all of a sudden everything is just a tinderbox. And, we see a lot of these fires that start, somebody burnt trash on Saturday and then the fire starts Monday because sometimes there's still enough of an ember in that burn barrel or a brush pile that blows over and all of a sudden, it's burning off a field. So just please, if you're burning, make good choices about when you're burning, but also call the JEC and let them know. Because that way, if something happens, they're aware. But a lot of times we get calls about fires for controlled burns that weren't reported. And so people will be driving on the interstate or the highway and say, I see this field's on fire. They call 911, fire trucks roll out, and they get out there. No, it's a controlled burn. So it wastes a lot of resources, creates some liability. So if you are going to have a burn, call the communication center, let them know the address, the time of the burn, and contact information for
a couple of the local fire department Facebook pages. I know Switch or Jefferson Monroe had it, and I think Tiffin had it. If you go down their Facebook page, they have here's why you need to call, here's the process of doing it, and who you need to call, stuff like that, if you're thinking about doing a controlled burn.
A couple years ago, the North Liberty chief and myself and somebody from Soul and Fire actually did a pretty cool PSA video. We should probably roll it out again, just to talk about these things.
I remember
That's
that,
some good video.
It's
just a good reminder because they just expend a lot of resources. You empty out a fire, and then what happens? Well, it is. And
when there is an actual field fire and you're on the way to the other one,
that's right. Now you're 4 miles away from town, and inevitably the fire is always 2 miles north of town, and now you've got to go all the way back up there.
I was driving back from Chicago Wednesday, and there was a controlled burn on I-80, and I thought, boy, when you're a mile away and you see the smoke, you're like, oh, that ain't good. And then you get there and you see the signs and everything, and there probably were 2 or 3 dozen people out there. making sure that it wasn't going to get out of control.
They, from time to time, the Corps of Engineers will do controlled burns of even like some of the timber areas and everything. And that's actually kind of neat when they do it, because I've driven by at night, like by Mahaffey Bridge, and like they'll be burning off some of that timber. And it's actually kind of neat, this little line of fire burning through the timber.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's kind of a neat thing that they do. They burn off the causeway up around McBride periodically. Yeah,
Iowa City always sends out a news release like, we're going to be doing it this month here, 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 and here.
Yep. That way, too, if you live close, you can keep your windows closed, or people, if you have respiratory problems, maybe, go to the mall for the afternoon or something. That way it's just not bugging you.
Yeah. Well,
Same advice you gave for the fireworks.
Well, yeah. I mean, at least you know. That's half.
Keep your windows closed.
Yep. And just prepare for it. And
here are the dates.
Yeah, it helps. It really matters. Most of the time, people get upset about something. It's not that something happened. It's because they just would have liked to have known.
Right.
It makes a big difference in just having a heads up about things.
I like when Iowa City sends it out. It's like the old days when you have a service technician come. We'll be there sometime between 8 and 5.
Yeah,
right.
And then we don't know exactly. We may do it or we may not. And it just depends.
Well, it depends on weather conditions and
All
wind
kinds
and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Today would be a halfway decent day, but there's snow on the ground, so I don't know if you can burn off on when there's just a little bit of snow cover.
Probably not. Might be a better day to burn like a brush pile, because it probably won't go anywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
But no matter what, call the Jack and let them know.
Yeah.
They appreciate that. Everybody appreciates it.
Before we let you go, I don't know if we have anything to ask about, but we have St. Patrick coming up in a few days, or a couple weeks, I guess. And I know that sometimes we get something from the state saying, like on the 3-day weekends, like Memorial Day, Labor Day, that they step up their patrol, knowing that's kind of a drinking holiday. Do you guys step up patrol, like put a couple extra maybe officers on the street, or
we could
target that?
We always have a good amount of money that comes from the state for extra enforcement, and the money's kind of broken up into different pots for just seatbelt or speed enforcement. Some is OWI enforcement. So I'd say it's pretty likely that our office and other agencies will have an extra person or two out.
And St. Patrick's Day on a Tuesday, so it's kind of a, it's not attached to a weekend, so to speak, and it's kind of early in the week, so it might not be the big celebration.
Or it could be like Cedar Rapids. They just don't go to work that day, just drink all day. Trust me, I lived in Cedar Rapids for 5 years. I know what they do up there.
Yeah.
Sapid episode.
Yep.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And a big parade and everything.
Quad Cities does a parade on the Saturday, either before or after.
Yeah, Cedar Rapids did switch to a Saturday. I don't know if they still do.
It's by state. It starts in Illinois and ends in Iowa.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's a big deal there as well.
You don't pour green beer into the river or anything like that?
No.
The Mississippi River. Or is it already green?
It's got a greenish tint,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I believe so.
That's all I got, guys.
Yeah, so
Yeah, we had fun.
Happy March.
absolutely.
Happy March.
In like a lamb, so it's going to go out like a lion, right?
I hope so.
Is that the rule?
I don't know.
It's supposed to rain this week, isn't it?
Yeah, starting
Yeah.
tonight.
I would
But
call
that's
that
okay. Good soaking would
Lions.
be good for us.
like a light rain.
Yeah.
That'd be definitely good, though, for the dry conditions. We've had the red flag warnings lately and stuff. So
Yeah,
that'd be
no
good.
kidding.
Yeah, there's a chance of rain starting tonight all the way through Friday night.
That's why I didn't wash my car yet.
Yeah. So Saturday, Sunday's supposed to be halfway decent, and we got highs in the upper 60s on Friday. So
Nice
and springy.
Yep, the turkey season's right around the corner. I'm very excited. It's a big deal. My kids are excited, so that'll be coming right up too.
All right. Well, thank you,
All right,
Sheriff.
thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Appreciate it.